Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're going to talk about Enneagram Type 7's. We're going to talk about how to get along with 7's. Please get along with me. Don't reject me. We're going to talk about, the holidays coming up, and you're probably going to be around a lot of family and friends. And my guess is there must be a 7 in there somewhere that gets on your nerves because they just won't stop. They don't know when to quit. And you're trying to get along with them, you're trying to love them, and you're like, please, Tom, help me know how to get along with this person, have a better relationship with them. So we're going to jump into that. We're going to look at this simple list in this book, The Enneagram Made Easy. It's just really a short list. And look, though, I've written a bunch of notes. You should be proud of me. Look at all the work that I did. And we're going to talk about it. Okay, so before we jump into that, a reminder that in the description below is a link to my website, tomlahue.com, where I do offer Enneagram coaching for you or for your relationship, your marriage perhaps. Knowing your Enneagram types should make a difference in how we treat one another, and it can make a big difference in improving your marriage. Let's just put it that way. I work with a lot of couples, and maybe I need to work with you guys too. If you're not getting along and everything feels awful, then there's a good chance that maybe you need help. Just saying. And also on my website, you find out about classes that I offer. I have on-demand classes as well as a live class coming up in January on Enneagram coaching if you're into that kind of thing. And lots of free resources. I have a free book that is available on there, a download for you. You can check it out. Okay, so let's jump into this list on Enneagram Type 7's. The adventurer, the enthusiast, the, I don't know what else. Let's look at what it says here. We're just going to start with the first one and see where it takes us. There's no big grand plan here. It's not that complicated, so let's just look at each one and see what happens, okay? So here's what the list says, all right? So these are not my words. Give me companionship, affection, and freedom. Actually, that sounds really good. Give me companionship. One of the needs that 7's might have, they might feel pretty strongly in a relationship, is for a recreational companion. That may be like the first or second most important need probably to a Type 7 is, let's go do things. Let's go do stuff. Wouldn't it be fun to go somewhere? Let's go to a museum. Let's go shopping. Let's go on four-wheelers or something. Let's go see the world. Let's go on vacation. Let's go see the Bahamas. Let's go to Disneyland in California. Let's go to the Rocky Mountains. Let's do something. Let's go hiking. There's a million things that we could do out there, and 7's tend to be oriented toward this big, beautiful world, and they want to go out and experience it. And probably half or more of the people on YouTube doing travel videos are Type 7's. Hey, look at me, I'm at Disney World. Look, they added a new ride. I mean, that is all 7 stuff. That and the collectors. Look at my guitar collection. Let's talk about the guitars. Let's talk about, all of these people on YouTube, a lot of them are 7's because they want to go out and see the world. And, nobody wants to do that by themselves. Nobody wants to go out and do that by themselves. So they need a recreational companion. Somebody said it like this: 7's are looking for somebody who will do with them what they would have done on their own anyway. That doesn't sound very flattering, right? Because you might be that other person, that just feels like you're an appendage to the 7 and their trip, right? They're on a trip. I'm on a trip. So one of the things I would say after this is stay positive. If you really want to connect with this 7, you can't be too negative. Now, I realize negative stuff is real and we have to slow down and deal with it, but 7's are probably going to move away from you if you tend to be a negative person, or you tend to, bring the trip down, or, cause problems. That's like, I can't deal with that. All right, next, engage with me in stimulating conversation and laughter. Oh, please do this. Laugh at my jokes. I work so hard to be funny. Your 7 works so hard to be funny and to lighten the mood. And a lot of times it's not even appreciated. People will say, I can't believe you said that. That's not funny. And the 7 will probably just either double down and try to be more ridiculous, or probably just withdraw from you and just like, I can't be around that person because they take everything too seriously and they don't think stuff is funny. So it's not that we don't like to talk about deep stuff. I can go really deep. I mean, I can go really deep, right? And I can deal with difficult things, but stimulating conversation, I think, is a good word, because stimulating has the idea of like something that I'm interested in, something that I'm excited about, something that I'm into. If you want to connect with a 7, start with this sentence. So, Tom, what are you into lately? And that'll probably be all you need. Just, hey, Tom, what are you into lately? Because sevens are into stuff. When they're not into something, they're going to look depressed or discouraged. It's like, I don't have anything to be excited about. So I guess I'm just, going to crawl into a hole and die. Think about Jack Skellington at the beginning of that movie, Night Before Christmas or Nightmare Before Christmas. Think of Ariel at the beginning of her movie, just depressed and discouraged, a little bipolar-ish, right? And usually all you got to do with a seven is, so Tom, what are you into lately? Tell me about it. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Tell me more, because sevens go to five, right? In health, we learn and we study and we research and we find out all the cool things that are out there. And then, because of our gluttony, we feel like we need it all, which we don't really need it all. And, I think stimulating conversations. Sevens like to find something to be excited about, and they want to talk about it. And sometimes people might not want to do that. They might shut us down because they might think, oh my gosh, I'm so sick of hearing about this thing you're OCD about. OCD, ADHD, I mean, this is the world of sevens. And so when we find something we're interested in, then that may be like all we can think about. It's like our focus, like a five. We just like focus all of our attention on this. And like, how do I get that? And how do I learn more about it? And, there's been so many of those things in my life, that have just kind of like taken over. Comic books and stamp collections and men's fragrances and guns and guitars. And, it's just like the disease never goes away, right? The symptoms, like what I'm focused on at the time, might be music. When I was in high school, it was music bands. It could be skateboards. But we're going way back, and it's like I wanted to learn everything about them. I wanted to buy them. I wanted to own them. I wanted to try them. I wanted to see what was different. And we really become like connoisseurs. And we also then share our disease with everybody. Like, oh, you got to know about this. You don't know about this? Oh, you got to order one. You got to get 3 of them. Get them now before they're gone. And we share that. We got to be careful as sevens about being so persuasive with people and talking them into crap they don't need. Crap we don't need. But we feel like if we don't have something to like rev our minds about or be excited about or pay attention to, that there's something empty and there's no meaning and purpose to life. Ugh. What was that? Number 2, engage in stimulating conversations. Okay. Laugh at my jokes. If I start to talk like a leprechaun, then I need you to respond to that. You'll be responding to me when I talk with when I start down that road of ridiculous and silly. Okay. All right. You guys know what I'm saying, right? All right. You live with sevens or you are a 7. Appreciate my grand visions and listen to my stories. Speaking type of a 7 is storytelling. Listen to my stories and appreciate my grand visions. Now, I would say visions, dreams. 7s tend to be a bit of dreamers. We might live in that dream world, like up in the clouds. We kind of live in our own little world up there. And I know we need to get our feet back on the ground, and you might be able to help us by being a little more of one of those down-to-earth, grounded people that can help us work through some of the details that we don't really want to work through. We love the ideas, we love the brainstorming, we love the dreams, but sometimes be careful about shutting us down too early and saying, oh, that's never going to work. Oh, that's never going to work. That's never going to work. And I'm like, hey, you know what we could do? And 7s, we have these synthesizing minds that are really good at brainstorming. And we say things like, what we should do? We should start a carnival for kids. And we could have cotton candy machines. Cotton candy machines made of unicorns. And then we could have unicorns that spit fire. And so we're out there like in this dream world of what could be. And there's always that one person being like, oh, that's never going to happen. We're not going to be able to do that. Or you got the other person that scares us. So the first one is negative Nelly, right? That we just can't take. And then there's the one that scares us that says, okay, well, I'm going to order that today. I'm going to order that for you right now. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't start actually doing this stuff that I'm just thinking about. Look, I'm just spitballing here. I'm just coming up with ideas. I'm just coming up with grand possibilities. And I know that sometimes it takes 10 bad ideas to get to one really good idea. So don't write everything down like I mean we're going to do this, because I just mean we need to expand our thinking and let in all the possibilities. So don't rush to a doable with us. And also don't tell us it'll never work. That'll never work. Too much work. Just sit back for a minute and let us process all of this chaos in our minds until we kind of come to some real possibilities. And we might need some help knowing what those real possibilities are, and then we might need somebody to walk with us to help us kind of flesh out the actual details of doing that. That's where sevens tend to like back up, like, yeah, I don't really want to do all this. I don't really want to figure out all the details and the tax papers and the codes and all that stuff. I'm hoping you'll help me with that. Okay, so appreciate my grand visions. Don't try to actualize everything that I say. Just sort of let me enter that blue sky cloud world and appreciate that. Like, wow, that's a great idea, Tom. What else? What else? Oh, wow, that's a great idea. Oh, yeah, that is, wow. Okay. Without shutting me down or trying to rush it into a doable. So I keep saying me. I don't just mean me. I can't help it because I am a 7, right? But I mean the 7's in your life, of course. Your life. Don't try to change my style. Accept me the way I am. I'm unique. I'm special. And I would say one of the worst things you could say to a 7 or a 4 for that matter, you know, the NFP stuff, those people like that, INFPs, ENFPs, ESFPs, ISFPs. One of the worst things you could probably say to us is, gosh, Tom, you are boring and unoriginal. And that may not be a big deal to you because maybe you like being boring and unoriginal. Maybe that's no big deal to you. But I would say be careful. Well, how does it say it? I'm not saying it. Let me just read what it says. Don't try to change my style. Accept me the way I am. Would you try to change Robin Williams' style? I mean, I can see why he could get on your nerves, right? Or Jimmy Fallon, or, you know, appreciate them. They're Chris Farley. Appreciate them the way they are. Big, full of life, lots of energy, and doing things kind of their own way, but not really trying to stand out and be special, but more just trying to, you know, follow their heart. Oh, that sounds so cringy. Follow your heart. It's so cringy. Be responsible for yourself. I dislike clingy or needy people. Yeah, I don't want to need you. Ugh. I do need you. I do need you in my life, but I don't want you to need me too much either. Like, I want us to go on this trip together and to have a great time together. But I don't want to feel like I have to be responsible for your feelings all the time. I don't want to feel like I have to be responsible for taking care of you. I don't want to feel like I have to be responsible. I like to entertain you. I want you to feel happy. I want you to feel great. But yeah, as a 7, I'm the one that kind of needs a lot of nurturing, and I'm not really here to nurture you. And you might really feel that way if you're in a relationship with a 7. Like, they take a lot of nurturing and they don't even see it. They don't even think about it, right? But they require a lot of nurturing because their sin is gluttony. Take care of me and my needs. And we are sometimes a little bit, I hate to say it out loud, but a little bit narcissistic. Like, hey, I entered the room, so the room exists now. And here I am. I need you to take care of me and my wants and my needs. And by the way, I'm a glutton, so I never run out of stuff that I want. The more I talk about this, the worse it sounds. Gosh, Tom, get a life, change, be a better person. So be responsible for yourself. I don't like clingy or needy people. Pastor Tom, can I talk to you for a second? I need to download about 30 minutes of my problem to you. Let me sit here and listen to you. Let me pay attention to you for a long time. You know, if somebody, gosh, one of the worst things is when somebody says, hey, Tom, I want to read this letter that I wrote to my friend, and I just want you to have an opinion about it. Like, no, you don't. You don't really care what I think. You just want to rehearse this garbage with somebody, and nobody else will listen to you. So, Tom, will you listen to this whole giant long letter that I wrote? Or better yet, would you read this and tell me what you think about it? And I'm like, oh my gosh. You know what? You know what a 7 feels like? You're wanting me to be stuck right here in this moment while you drone on and on about your life and your problems. I feel terrible saying this out loud, but I mean, it's just honest. If I can't be honest, then what can I be? So it's like, dear ex-wife, I just want to say to you, and I'm like, I'm dying. I can't take it. And you'll see 7s literally like, you know, we don't look like an anxiety type until you make us do something like that. Can I plop down here in front of you and dominate your time and attention for about 20 minutes while I just tell you about this thing? And you'll see 7s like, I'm sorry, I got a call from death. I have to go now. I'm sorry. I wish I could stay, but I have to answer. Okay, be responsible for yourself. I dislike clingy or needy people, and yet who's more needy than a 7? Our sin is literally gluttony. I need this. Isn't it ironic how this stuff works? The most needy person and the person who most needs to be entertained is the entertainer. The entertainer literally needs to be entertained all the time. What are we doing today? I need to find something to learn about. I need to find something to do today. And then the most needy person can't take it when somebody needs them. Interesting. Don't tell me what to do. That's the last one on the list here. Don't tell me what to do. Never try to control a 7 because they will slip away from you. They might kind of nod and laugh and sort of rebelliously smile and giggle and soft rebel against you while they just teleport away. They're just going to teleport away. They're just going to... Now, they might, if they have a strong 8-wing, just come right at you and be a little more direct and blunt and straightforward. But there's a good chance if they're a 7-wing 6 like me, they're just going to be like, hi, yeah, that's really good. Yeah, I'm never coming back here. I'm getting out of here as fast as I can. If you couldn't hear me, I said I'm getting out of here as fast as I can. I'm leaving, and I'm just going to, like, phantom presence here. Like, I'm here, but I'm not really here because I got to get out of here because I can't stand to be told what to do. Don't tell me what to do. Never try to control a 7 or they will slip away from you. And you're like, yeah, but they need somebody to tell them what to do. I know. I don't know how to solve this. I'm not trying to solve anything, I guess. I'm just trying to show you, like, the way it works inside our minds and, kind of our perspective, and then how you can have a little bit of compassion on the challenges that we face. Now, I wrote down a lot of other stuff because as I was looking at this list, I was like, yeah, but what about also this? And what about also that? And what about also this? So I just wrote down some stuff, and look, there's no real grand design here. It's just kind of slobbered all over the page. So let me see what it says. Celebrate my enthusiasm. Yeah, let me be excited about stuff. Actually, I wrote, let me be excited about crap. Don't say, you don't need another guitar. I don't understand why you're constantly shopping for crap you don't need. You don't need it. Look, the whole thing is, I know we don't need it. We don't need anything. All we need is water and food and shelter. That's all we need. What do you mean by this word need? And, 7s, we do feel like we need a lot of stuff. I would encourage you, if you are a 7, to try to watch some videos on minimalism. It's really hard. It just feels like the opposite of what... It feels uncomfortable and painful, but probably a little bit of minimalism, if I could say it, would be a good thing for a 7. And, when I think about minimalism, I think about 5s. And that line to 5, part of that line to 5, I think, in health is recognizing that I don't really need stuff. I don't really need more things in order to be okay, in order to be happy. If I could just enjoy what I already have and, actually become proficient in what I already have rather than needing something else. In other words, learn how to play the dumb guitars you have rather than always buying more. Then that might be a better way toward real fulfillment and mastering something in life. So let me be excited about crap, especially crap I don't need. You don't need another guitar. Let me be interested in stuff I don't need. Because here's what's going to happen. If every time I come to you and I say, hey, I found this gadget on wherever, and it's this cool thing that I found these glasses that, translate for you. I found these hearing aids that translate languages. Wouldn't that be amazing? We could go anywhere and we could Okay. As soon as I start to tell you about this cool thing I found, look at this thing I found, and you say, we don't need that. What am I going to do? Okay. I'm never talking to you again. I can't connect with you because, look, I'm trying to bring this thing I'm excited about that I'm interested in, but you're shaming me because I don't need it. Or, have you gotten your book report done yet? Have you gotten your book report yet done? I don't want to hear about your little hearing aids that translate languages until you get your book report done. Okay, I'm done. I'm not going to have a relationship with you. And that's really sad. That's really sad. I get it. We need help focusing. You might need to help us focus, but gentle. Be gentle with that little 7 that's in your house. That little playful, Peter Pan that lives in your house. you will crush that little guy's spirit. You will crush her little heart. We have feelings. We feel stuff. And we realize like we're wired to want to be kids for as long as we can. Gosh, I'm going to start crying. It's so stupid. I'm literally bringing tears to my eyes. Like, why do we stop playing? I don't know why we stop playing. We just go to work and then we work and that's it. And we're just told like, go to work and just keep your head down and just be responsible and be an adult and grow up. And there's something in us as sevens that's like, no, why? Why can't we play together? You remember when you were a little kid and you go to your neighbor's house, you knock on the door and then mom would come to the door and you'd say, hey, Mrs. Whatever, can Jeff come out and play? At some point, we just stopped doing that. And we work together and we plan together and we conspire together and we steal together and we victimize together. But at some point, we just quit playing together. Okay, gosh, Tom, get it together. Get it together, sir. You know, like, we don't like all this emotional stuff, so. Ugh, yikes. So be open and fun and willing to have fun and willing to, like, be spontaneous. You know, sevens are the people, they're driving around, they're like, oh, you know what would be awesome? We should go. And then it's just like, boom, here we go. Here's the plan. Here's the big dream. And I realize that we can't do everything and you can't do everything. You don't have the money to do everything, but just be careful about just crushing that. Like, no, we're not doing that. So many people do it. Be open to fun and spontaneity. If you're negative all the time, I just can't be around you. I know I need to grow. I know I need to be okay with that. But I'm just telling you, like, if you're all the time like, I don't understand. I don't understand. If you're just like all the time like that, like, I just can't. If I'm going to go on a trip with you and you start just, when do we have to leave? I don't understand. This is dumb. I don't want to be here. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. And you will see that 7 go so fast to 1 and just be like angry, frustrated, and done, and depressed, and discouraged, and blah. I know, you say, yeah, but Tom, you shouldn't be like that. Okay, you shouldn't be like you, but you are like you. You have your problems. We all have our problems. Get off my case. All right, stay positive. Stay positive. You know, a lot of 7s, we are very positive people by nature, but we can get down. Let me tell you guys, I coach a lot of 7s. And it's not always fun and games. It's not. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of suffering. And sometimes as a 7, I actually have to discover that I'm not doing well. And I see this with a lot of 7s too. It's kind of like I have to go for a walk and then realize, oh crap, I think that feeling that I'm feeling right now is that thing that other people call sadness. I think that feeling that I'm feeling right now is what other people call anger. Ugh. What am I going to do with that? And sometimes I'll have these conversations with 7s and we will literally be laughing about being in pain. And you can probably only do that with 7s. You know, that we're sitting there talking and we're like, so you're getting a divorce. Oh my gosh, that's awful. And they'll be like, yeah, I know. And they're laughing about it as a way of processing it. And that you might think, well, then they're not taking it seriously. No, it's not that they're not taking it seriously. It's just maybe we don't know what else to do. We don't know what else to do, maybe sometimes. Okay, listening feels like an obligation. I already said that, right? Here, would you read this? No, please, no. Communicate clearly and positively. Move toward forgiveness and move on. Yes, I would say as a 7, like, we don't want to rehash. We offload crap. You know, like, you do stuff to us and we offload it. And we just like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to do it. Sometimes to the point of being avoidant, right? And that's not good. But I would say as a general rule, 7s want to forgive and move on. So please try to forgive and move on. Because that's definitely how we're wired. And I know it's not that we shouldn't take responsibility for what we do. We definitely need to take responsibility for our actions. And 7s more than anybody could leave a trail of broken promises and regrets. I mean, I get it because we're so focused on what we're headed toward that we may not remain faithful to our commitments that we've made, you know, and it's not intentionally like they're trying to hurt your feelings. They're not intentionally probably trying to hurt your feelings. It's just they're so focused on what they're chasing right now that they don't realize what they're running away from. And you could really help your 7 be more present and engaged in their life right now. Look at the whole tagline to my channel is be present to life. Why? Because it's so freaking hard to be present to life. As a 7, my attention goes to the future. It goes to what we could be doing. It goes to why are we not outside right now? Why are we not hiking in the Rocky Mountains? Why are we not on the Appalachian Trail? Why are we not, riding four-wheelers and having hot cocoa like a Hallmark movie for Christmas? Why are we not? My brain just goes there, and I have to come back and say, Tom, what we're doing right now is okay. You need to be focused on it. You need to stay disciplined. That free book that I'm giving away right now is all about procrastination, because procrastination is such a challenge because I don't want to do the work. I want to go have fun. But you can help your 7 be more present to life and more grounded and more engaged in what we're doing right now. And as a 7, if you can let what we could be doing go, you're more free to do what you're doing and to be present to what you're doing. So mindfulness and presence and all these things are so beautiful for 7s to work on, to sit still and to not have to have 17 forms of entertainment on right now, or shopping. It can be so frustrating, always shopping, always shopping. I think it's the shopping you're addicted to. It's not the stuff, it's the shopping, it's the experience. It's what's out there. What am I missing out on? I need to know what could make me happy out there. It's hard to have a relationship with somebody who never stops shopping on their phone. Nobody wants to be your friend if you do that. You got to be present to your friends and present to your relationships and present to those conversations. I'm talking to you guys as 7s, right? Because you're always, this is such unhealthy behavior. Nobody wants to be a friend of that. But see, look, you got to have constant stimulation, constant entertainment, constant buying crap you don't need. And you're missing out on what you could have right around you, what you could have available to you right now, the people, the relationships. And then just read a dang book. Get an old book and read a book. And think about it and talk about it and journal it and slow down and be present to it. Gosh, Tom, you sound like you're preaching. How dare you? First of all, how dare you? Okay. Recreational companion, boundaries. It would be helpful for 7s to set boundaries on themselves, like how much money I'm going to spend this week on crap I don't need. Or how much money I'm going to spend, or how much time I'm going to spend doing the things that I love, my hobbies, my interests, because if we don't set some boundaries, life will set boundaries on us, and then we're going to blame other people for why we can't do stuff or why we can't buy stuff. So, like, for an example, let's say your hobby is comic books. And you buy comic books. Okay, so you set a boundary on yourself and you say, okay, it's okay objectively and rationally looking at my finances to spend $100 a month on comic books. That's all I'm going to spend, $100 a month. And then hold yourself to that boundary, and then you can feel good about your experience instead of feeling that shame and guilt that you're spending money you don't have for crap you don't need. And other people then can treat you with a little bit more, understanding and respect, instead of, did you spend money on those comic books? Let me see the receipt. I can't imagine. No, we agreed to this, and agree and set a boundary and put some limitations. I know, see, 7s, we resist limitation. We resist limitations. We resist negativity. We resist, minimizing our options. But we have to live in the real world. And you don't want your hobbies and interests and the things that you enjoy to create problems and pain for you in your relationships or in your finances. And so you got to make some boundaries. And if you would agree to these boundaries, then you wouldn't have to have all these arguments and fights that you have with people who are trying to enforce these boundaries on you. So be a rational person. Realize that I can't just get everything I want, and tell yourself no. Okay. Commit to, what did I write? Commit to one thing and see it through to the end. Yep, I said it. I did it. Commit to one thing and see it through to the end. Because, the monkey mind of a 7 is we might bounce around with a lot of interest. We got 4 books we're reading at one time. We got 17 TV shows that we're watching. We're watching CSI and NCIS, and we're watching, we got like 17 shows we're watching at once. Commit to one thing and try to see it through. One book, learning one song on the piano, one song on the guitar, one thing, and really seeing it through. Just try it. See what happens. See how you feel about it. Okay, well, I certainly appreciate you guys that have sevens in your life and you're watching a video like this because you're wanting to understand and try to get along a little bit better. You love it when sevens are positive and upbeat and happy, but you got to be patient with us when sometimes we struggle and sometimes we, feel a little bit of unrest. It's not that we don't like you, it's not that we're not satisfied with you. It may just be that we feel like there's something in our experience that's missing, and that could offend you and could hurt you, but it's not you, it's us. Okay, we're just always kind of asking how this could be better and what am I missing out on, and that's kind of our struggle, right? And so I appreciate your willingness to try to get along with us and understand us. And you sevens, I appreciate your willingness to slow down and be more present to life and stay engaged with the people in your life. Do the right thing, be responsible. And let's just go ahead and end this video. And I just want to thank you guys for checking out all this great information. I hope it's helpful to you. Here's a video and a playlist for you as you continue learning more. And as always, be present to life. Have a Merry Christmas. I'll see you next time. Happy New Year also, and Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa, and whatever else you celebrate.